help me to welcome our wonderful officer, Officer Stinson, who is here today to discuss about the safety, the law, any questions that you may have, please, this is the person to ask, okay? Our professional. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Officer Stinson. I'm assigned to the Long Beach Police Department. I've been assigned here to the campus police for about 6 years. I think it's a great place to be, a great place to work. I have a lot of fun here, and I think you guys will enjoy your stay here. What I want to start off with is just a couple of handouts. This is what we like to pass out to the new students. This is the 8 things, I'll keep one for myself, the 8 things that we would like you to know about LBCC. And then when you get a chance, these are some things you guys can keep talking about personal security. So if we go to the first handout, and then afterwards I'll take any questions that you guys may have. The 8 things that we'd like you to know about the Long Beach Police Department here at the LBCC campus. The number one thing is that the Long Beach Police Department is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we can always be reached. If there's any need for police, you can always call us. And it has various numbers here that you can call, various extensions you can call from phones on campus. But let's say if you have your own cell phone, you can always dial 911. The system has been upgraded so that if you dial 911, it'll know where you're calling from, here on campus, but you want to give a specific location. So it'll know it's LBCC, but it may not know you're in room A. So you want to say, I'm in room A1098 or whatever room you're in. So you want to give a specific location. You can also dial our non-emergency cell phone number, which is 562-435-6711. It goes to our police dispatch, so it's the same phone number as 911, except when they receive the call, they know it's not a 911 emergency. No, they know it's a non-emergency. So they'll give you the same response. So it says here about escorts. We provide escorts. If any of you have night classes and you feel like, hey, it's kind of late, I need an escort to my car or to the parking structure or to the parking lot, you can call any of these numbers and ask for an escort, and we can provide that. If for some reason we're busy or we have a lot of escort requests, what we may tell you is just come on over to the structure. We'll be in the area, so you'll see us driving around and you'll know that we're there. And if you have a specific concern, you can always, like I say, dial 911 to be more specific. Number 2, if any of you drive to school, we want everyone to know that parking is enforced, and it's enforced 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The parking permits only cost $1 if you buy them. They call it a day permit. So if you buy them daily, they're only $1, and you can park anywhere as long as it doesn't say staff, or you don't want to park in a red zone or a handicap. But if you park in any stall that doesn't say staff, you're okay. You can also, come on in, you can also purchase a parking permit through the cashier's office. And I'm not sure what the cost is, but it's very reasonable, very valuable. It's a good value, in other words, so you can always do that, and you can park wherever you need to park. But we do enforce parking 24/7, and what we do is we contract out to our parking assistants. They're students, they go to school here, they're full-time students, but they work as parking assistants, and they love to write tickets. They drive around in the little carts, and they just look for violators, and they love to write tickets. It's what they do, so it's not worth it. It's only $1 for a day pass, or you can get a parking permit. If you have a handicap placard, you can park anywhere, staff, as long as you don't park in a red zone, you can park anywhere with a handicap placard. Okay, now if we look at number 3, like I said, I'm just going to go through these quickly just so you can get a basic idea of what we'd like you to know, and you can ask me any questions. Personal safety. We believe that there's safety in numbers. When I was in the police academy, if you wanted to go to the restroom or you wanted to go to the TAC office, you had to get a partner to go with you. You couldn't go by yourself. So I'd say, hey, excuse me, can you come with me? I got to go to the TAC office, and we would go together because they wanted to instill in us safety in numbers. Even if it's just a quick trip from here to the bookstore, if you can get someone to go with you, it's always better. This is a very safe campus, don't get me wrong, but we're just teaching you personal safety tips, okay? So if you can have a friend or somebody go with you, it's always better, especially if you have classes at night. The campus is well lit, but as you can see, we have a lot of construction going on, a lot of fences up, so it may not be as well lit as we'd like, as you'll see it as it will be once everything is done. Another thing, if you see things like lights out or whatever, let somebody know. We have our own facilities here at the campus. They can fix whatever needs to be fixed, so just let somebody know. We can get that taken care of. So safety in numbers. If I was going to ask you guys, what do you think the #1 crime is here at LBCC? What would you say? What's the #1 crime here on campus? Anybody? What's that? Stolen? Theft? You guys are both correct. It's a very safe campus, and we have a lot of great students, but for some reason, students and some faculty members have the habit of they'll leave things out unattended, and they don't tell anybody, hey, can you watch my phone? I'm going to go sharpen my pencil. And when they come back, the phone is gone. And that's how it usually happens. I left it there for a second. What happened? Oh, I turned my back, or I went, so when I came back, it was gone. So if we could get people just to pay attention to your things, keep them close to you, or let somebody know, hey, can you watch my phone for me while I step out? That kind of thing. It would help cut down on theft drastically. Like I said, we got good students, but I don't know, I think sometimes they get tempted. They see the phone there, they go, oh, that's the iPhone 5. That's the new model. I got to have it. They shouldn't, but it happens. So keep an eye on your things. That should help you out. It also says here, stay in well-lit areas, that's especially if you're at night. It doesn't hurt to do that because it's just a safety issue, right? And leaving unattended items, backpacks, cell phones, whatever it may be. You may not think it's of value, but you never know. So just keep an eye on things. Student code of conduct. When you sign up for classes, it's actually in the back of the scheduling book, the student code of conduct. It has rules that are, to be followed while on campus. You can read up on those. There are about 10 of them. Things like no skateboarding, no smoking except in designated areas, things like that. Now, the thing about skateboarding is we don't come down hard on it, at least not right now, because we know a lot of students use it for transportation. But technically, you're not supposed to skateboard, but the administration doesn't want to put the signs up. So it's kind of hard to enforce things unless there's a sign, because our fine students will say, well, where's the sign? And then I say, all right, there's no sign. But we still can enforce it, so just to let you know, be careful. Lost and Found. Lost and Found is actually located right here in Building E. E as in Edward. Come on in. Hello. Building E. At the very front desk, the information desk, that's where Lost and Found is. So let's say you left your cell phone unattended and it went missing. Maybe somebody was nice enough to pick it up and take it to Lost and Found. So always check with them first to see if they have it. They may have it. You may get lucky. You may not. But that's where Lost and Found is. You can always check with the police department. Sometimes people bring things to us, and then eventually we'll bring them over to Lost and Found. So it's right over here in Building E. That's the student center. A lot of activity over there, but right at the front desk where you take your ID, that's where Lost and Found is located. And some valuables are turned into the ASB Bank or the cashier's office, but they'll direct you. Staff email updates. They do have updates if you have that service. I'm not sure how that works, but all the students, I guess, are made aware. Text alerts about different concerns. Yes, and they'll let you know what school's been canceled or whatever, that kind of thing. Now, as far as number 7, zero tolerance, we have zero tolerance for 2 things, basically: fighting and drugs. So if you have your medical marijuana card and you say, I just need to medicate, and you want to smoke marijuana, you can't do it on campus. And you can't come to campus under the influence of marijuana. So we have a zero tolerance for that. And as far as fighting, there's a dispute. One of my biggest disputes that I get is in the parking structure or parking areas, and it's women fighting over parking spaces. I don't know what it is, but she's been waiting, she pulled up and she got it. Now they want to have words and they get pretty heated sometimes. I haven't really had any fights, but they have exchange. I think guys are more like, forget it, I'll move on, or, I'll take care of this later. But but if you have to fight, Long Beach has a lot of gyms, boxing gyms, kung fu gym, whatever you need. There's plenty of gyms. Go there and fight. And there's also a big giant park over across Clark and Carson. I don't recommend you fight there either because it's fighting in public. So go find a gym and have at it. So no fighting, no drugs, please. And the last thing we'd like you to know is that safety is our #1 priority. And this, you can just kind of look at yourself. This is just personal safety tips that you can just kind of look at on your own. Now, does anybody have any questions for me? I'd be happy to try to answer them for you.
Any questions? This is the time.
This is the time.
Is it kind of okay to just skateboard around when it's not crowded?
Yeah, it's kind of okay. Sometimes we have to enforce it because what will happen is somebody will be skateboarding, lose his skateboard, and then it crashes into somebody's ankles. And I guess that really hurts because I've had people say, they've had that happen to them, and it hurts. So then we got to crack down. And when I say crack down, I mean we got to crack down. All right, I'm just kidding.
Anyone else? How many of you are driving to school next semester? You have a car? Okay. Can they park anywhere around the neighborhood?
The question is, those of you that drive, can you park anywhere around the campus, let's say in the neighborhoods? What you need to know is the neighborhoods vary. We have what's called an F permit neighborhood, where sometimes if you want to park within a couple blocks of the campus, you have to have an F permit. So if you park there, you don't have one. Your parking pass here is not an F permit. You'll know what it is because it's what they give the neighbors to park in their own neighborhood. It's something they came up with years ago. So you can't park there. You have to look at the sign. So as you're driving down the street, safely pull over, look at the sign, see what the sign says. If it says permit required, you don't have one, don't park there. There's places on Clark you may be able to park, you may not. You just got to read the sign. Maybe it's a parking day. They're going to do street sweeping or whatnot. So you got to make sure you read the sign. That same thing goes with the lots around campus. They're all lettered and numbered. They're numbered down at PCC here. They're lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And what happens is you have to read the sign on the lot. It'll tell you some staff, some student, all staff. So if you read the sign, it'll tell you where you're allowed to park.
Help me with questions. Any other questions?
How many officers are in here in the campus or surrounding the area?
Well, what happens is you have police that are assigned to the campus. So for the campus itself, we have a lieutenant, we have 4 police officers, and then we have about a dozen special service officers. They kind of wear the tan shirt with the green pants, and they provide policing services for the campus itself. And then we have the police in the city itself in the surrounding area. So we have campus police and the city police are all here, just in case we need the help.
We'd have to buy a different kind of parking permit if you wanted to park in a parking structure rather than a parking lot.
Okay, his question was about buying a specific permit for the parking structure. No, whatever permit you get here will allow you to park anywhere on campus, the structure, or in any of the lots, here and at the Pacific Coast campus. You'll be good to go.
Mr. Stinson, can you also share regarding the violation of jaywalking? What is jaywalking and what are the consequences?
Okay, the question is about jaywalking, and that means crossing the street when you're not in a crosswalk or at a signal, a light. Now, what happens is this: we have a lot of students that don't want to wait for the light, and they'll scurry across against the light, which is a violation. Now, sometimes if we see you, we'll give you a warning, say, excuse me, come here, you crossed the street in violation, but I'm going to give you a warning. Sometimes we issue a citation. Now, from what I understand, the citation can be pretty expensive. So it's not worth it, plus it's a safety issue. We've had students that have been hit by cars, that's why we enforce it. So some places you'll see signs that say, do not cross, don't cross where they say do not cross, or when it's a red light, don't cross, wait till it turns green, or as long as you have the walk hand, it's okay to walk. And it's not worth the ticket. I hear it's really expensive.
So,
Go ahead.
also, if I ride a bike, so do we have to wait for the cross line?
Okay, that's a good question. He wants to know if you ride a bicycle, do you have to wait for the crossing light? The answer is yes. When you ride a bicycle, technically you're supposed to obey all the rules of the road that a car obeys. Now, it doesn't seem like that because if you're riding through a neighborhood and there's a stop sign, normally you just ride through it. Technically, that's okay, right? But what happens is, if you get hit by a car or something, it could be your fault because you didn't stop at the stop sign. So you're supposed to obey all the laws just like that a vehicle would. But for the most part, people will just look. If it's safe, they go. We don't really focus in on that unless it's a problem, and then we'll, advise on that or take whatever action is necessary.
A friend
Yes.
of mine told me jaywalking is allowed as long as like the crosswalk isn't within 50 feet.
Okay, so he said your friend told you that jaywalking's allowed as long as it's within 50 feet,
The crosswalk is not within 50.
15 feet?
50.
50, as long as it's not in 50 feet of what? The
If it's not close enough to you jaywalking, that's what I did.
Oh, okay. See, now here's what happens. There's a lot of shows on television, CSI, Miami Vice, Law and Order, whatever it is, and people get the wrong notion of what really is a law and what really isn't a law. That's not true, okay? So your friend gave you some bad advice. Basically, the way it works is when you come to a crosswalk, if it's safe to cross and there's no signal or no sign, you can cross. The pedestrian does have the right of way. Now, the way some people drive, you wouldn't believe that because they'll honk at you like, hey, what are you doing in the crosswalk? You have the right of way. They're supposed to wait for you. Now, it is a violation for you to get in the crosswalk, pull out your cell phone and stop and say, wait, where am I supposed to be? You're in the middle of the street. No, you're supposed to keep moving. You're okay, but you're not supposed to impede traffic while you're in the crosswalk. It's there for you to cross the street. But yeah, you have to follow whatever the light or the sign says. Yes.
If you're crossing at a street corner, even if there's not a crossing there in the street corner, that's not considered jaywalk, right?
Okay, she asked if you're crossing on a corner where there's no crosswalk, but you want to cross the street. Is that jaywalking? No, that's not jaywalking because she is at a corner which we consider there to be a crosswalk there, even though there isn't one painted there. It's only when you do it in the middle of the street where there's no marked crosswalk or intersection. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Well, good question.
Is it possible, though, that there may be a sign that does specify that is not a crossing corner and to use instead of the corner crossing, that they can get a ticket and it's considered jaywalking?
Yes. What that would be technically is failure to obey a posted sign. So-
always look for that.
And where she's talking about specifically is on the corner of Faculty and Carson. There are signs that say no crossing. And just this morning, I was driving up Carson and I see a guy looking at me and he's crossing. He was lucky I was on my way to something, but I gave him the look and I could have got on the loudspeaker and said, hey, but what am I going to tell him? Go back. So I'm sure he did it safely, but what's going to happen is sometimes believe it or not, I take this uniform off and I put on my street clothes and I put on a hat and you would probably never recognize me. And I stand out there and I wait to see if anybody's going to cross illegally. And then when you do, I say, hey, come here. And you go, huh? And then I'll pull out my badge and say, come here. And then we have a chat. Sometimes, hey, it's something that we do for the students' own well-being. She said, you're such a jerk. You hear that? I'll tell you how we handle this. You see me after this presentation. No, but here's the thing. Sometimes, and I'll have my team with it, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. And I'll ask them before. I'll say, hey, are we citing today? Are we advising? I say, well, hey, one of them called me a jerk. We're citing today.
No mercy.
But she did it with a smile, so no, maybe we'll give advisals. So we play it by ear. We figure it out and play it by ear. But sometimes that will happen. So it's just best to use the ped crossing or cross at the appropriate crosswalk.
Yes, last question, any last questions? Can anybody pay their way out? Is that legal in the United States?
Oh, yeah. The question is, can you pay your way out of a citation? The answer is no. You can't say to me, hey, you know what? I'll give you this $20 bill and we just forget the whole thing. Don't be a jerk. Take the 20, right? I say, oh, you're trying to bribe me, right? Now we have a different violation, right? You thought I was a jerk before? Wait till you feel these bracelets, you're not gonna like them. No, you can't bribe your way out of things. I know in some countries, right, the police don't always have the citizens respect as much as you might think, because a lot of times when they show up, they want money, if you want their help or whatever. Here, it's not like that. When we show up, we don't want money. We just want to know what happened. We want to enforce the law. So you can't pay us money to get extra service or get out of some kind of situation. So don't do it, unless you like the bracelets. Right? They look good?
They look shiny.
Citation is a ticket. She asked, what's a citation? A citation is a fancy word for ticket. So, give you a ticket or a citation. It's the same thing.
Any other questions? Yes.
Can you ride your bike in a street that doesn't have a bike line?
He asked, can you ride your bike on a street that doesn't have a bike line or a bike lane? As far as riding bikes on campus, you're not supposed to, but if you're safe about it, we'll let you get where you have to go. We know you're trying to get where you're going. But as far as being on the street, Long Beach is a very bike-friendly city. You can ride your bicycle anywhere in the city.
Do you have to wear a helmet?
If you're under the age of 18, I believe, it might be 16. I have to double check on that. You need a helmet. But if you're over 18, you don't have to wear a helmet. They say you should, but you don't have to. And as long as you're riding, you're supposed to ride with the flow of traffic, not against. A lot of people like to ride against traffic so they can see what's coming. Technically, you're not supposed to, but some people do it. And like I say, we're a bike-friendly city. We don't try to make it too hard on you for riding a bike.
If you have like electric motor to your bicycle,
Yeah.
could you still go on the sidewalk, or you have to just go?
Okay, that's a good question. Electric motor on your bicycle or a motorized bicycle?
Right.
I've seen those. In order for a bicycle to ride on the sidewalk, they're supposed to ride in the street, you're supposed to have certain equipment. You're supposed to have a bell on your bike so you can let people know you're on the sidewalk. And if you have a motorized bicycle, I believe that needs to be on the street. You may not have to get a license for it, because some people have it where you can ride it and turn the motor on. But just to be safe, do it on the street.
Okay.
Ride on the street.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your participation. And Officer Simpson, like always, we really appreciate your safety information, law information, to keep our international students out of trouble. So greatly appreciate it. Give them a hand. Say hi. Everybody go out when you-
Yeah, if you see me on campus, don't be afraid. Come say hello. You and I will talk later. I'm going to remember her.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what? I have some. This was from the lieutenant.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Lieutenant, no.
All right.